only follow orders. It's just your job, a day's routine, to kill and justify the murders, as you guard and drive your death machines. Strength is an illusion, lies are an intrusion. All my life, my sacred space.
Why you gotta come here? Can't you go some damn where else and protest?
And the words we've written on your doors to destruction might be wiped clean, but their truth can't be erased. You'd rip me open like a test site, colonize my body like the land. If you're not protecting your need for the might, to make sure you know who's in command. You dare to say I damage property, while you destroy and damage lives. You may swear to God I'm guilty, but I say it's you who's being tried.
The Peace Camp is on farmland near the village of Romulus, New York. A mile down the road is the main gate of the Army Depot, where we do most of our civil disobedience actions. We let the county sheriff's office know whenever we plan a major action.
Ours is the power of the wind and the water.
Women have been gathering at Seneca Army Depot since 1983. Seneca Army Depot is in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York and is the second largest transshipment point of nuclear weapons in the world.
About when I first started and we were just standing there, I was looking at one guard and sort of reflecting back to him, trying to imagine him seeing himself in me, burnt as a victim. And then I was facing just the base and doing that to the whole base and sort of other people in there. And I don't know, when I was wailing, I guess I was trying to imagine. I think it's pretty hard to imagine what it would be like to be a victim, but trying to imagine from things that I had read and trying to get that out through my voice.
I was thinking about the people of Nagasaki and Hiroshima at that time, trying to imagine that. But it was such a gut-level way of expressing the pain and the rage, I think, of all the people that are threatened by nuclear war. And that fence felt really symbolic to me of just like an immovable force or a barrier of non-feeling, that you were expressing all this stuff and it was immovable, and the guards behind it, their faces, they couldn't look at you. They had to look everywhere else, but they couldn't stand the sight of your twisted faces and the blood and the pain you were expressing. And so just such a symbol of us feeling extra emotional.
Why did I come here? I wanted to see what it was about, because I heard, I've been hearing things about it and what women were doing up here and what they were hoping to achieve. You know, I was uncooperative, and this is my first CD offense. I've never done that before. I mean, with the women behind me encouraging, go, go, go for it, you know, it was like, that there has helped me to maintain a stony kind of barrier. And like there were photographers out there who had smirky smiles on their face. And I gave them this look, and they just, the smile dried up, they looked away, they did it twice, and then the second time they walked away.
In the afternoon, we had our final planning meeting for women who were going to go over the fence, and we also had a meeting for the support group.
Either we should decide now or when we get there. At some point, if any one of us raises both hands, how about let's sit down and
my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to children come, come and join our circle foreground. We circle around the boundaries of the earth, the boundless universe. Disease, and the women are gonna rise up, the women are gonna rise up and generate our own energy. Woman am I, spirit am I, every woman in this world has her mind set on freedom.
But while we're weaving, at the beginning, the slow weaving, maybe we wail then, and then start singing, and then go over.
We are the weavers, we are the web, we are the flow, and we are the end. We are the weavers, we are the web, we are the flow, and we are the end. We are the weavers, we are the web. Old and strong, she goes on and on and on. You can feel the spirit. She is like a lion. Old and strong, she goes on and on and on. You can feel the spirit.
When I got to the top of the fence and I looked down and I saw all the women who were encouraging, and women who showed up at the last minute who were very good friends of mine who came up to the fence and wanted to touch my hand as I was going over. It was really empowering. took my arms. I went limp. I was not cooperating fully. They carried me behind that guard shack and handcuffed me. Then they questioned me about her status, being a minor or not.
At first I was kind of afraid to go over the fence, fear of what would happen. When I got over the fence, I was afraid of scratching myself up on the barbed wire. And when I got over the fence, first thing the cops did was grab me, but they were gentle and they were reluctant to arrest me and handcuff me because they thought that I was a juvenile delinquent. I'm over 21, but since I look so young, a lot of people say,
us who were totally non-cooperative, they had to carry us. They dragged us out of the building to put us on the bus to bring us out. And as they were putting us on the bus, they were very brutal about the way they did it. I was held with my hands this way as I was going up the bus, and the man who had my feet, when I got partway under the bus, he took my legs and he raised them over my head, and then he slammed them down against the edge of the steps. So I have bruises on the back of my legs. And I couldn't continue with the nonviolence. You know, I said to him, "You bastard." All of a sudden, things seemed to be happening very fast. Women were at the gate. Lots of women collected right at the gate and talking to us and talking to the counter demonstrators who had come across the road and were confronting the women. They took us to the base, to the processing center, and put us in cells, but they kept Dr. Dredd separate. So the women that were in the cell with me, we had a conference about how we should handle that, because we don't feel that it's good for one woman to be isolated. And this is what they do at times, is isolate one woman and try to get her morale down. And so we started insisting that they bring her out and put her in one of the cells where there were other women. And some of us non-cooperated fully. We did not walk. They dragged us.
And poked you in the back.
Poked us. They had to carry us from station to station during the processing for the weight, the height, and all of that. Photos. There were some of the men inside that were military uniforms that were openly belligerent. And then there were many of them who were, I sensed, afraid of us. And it seemed that every time we would go to the front of the cells where they had this cage-type wire, that many of them would gather outside. And when we would go to the back of the cell, then they would disperse. And it was like they were afraid that we would do something
to get out of the cell.
But we were still in our handcuffs. They kept us handcuffed right up until they read us the ban and bar letter. And
what's the ban and bar letter?
That's official charges of trespassing and warning us that if we do it again, we could get fined up to $500 and imprisoned for up to 6 months, or both. I think it's ridiculous, but it's also safe for some of us. So sometimes we sang, sometimes we just talked to each other, sometimes we talked to the guards that weren't responding, and eventually we did get some to talk to us. Some were nasty. Some were saying that us being there took away from their being able to go to the county or the town fair in Ovid.
Another thing, I caught myself on the barbed wire, and I said to the guards after they put us in the detainment area, cell block 2, I said, could somebody please get me a Band-Aid and medicine for my cut? So, I mean, I think looking back at that, I did somehow penetrate their barrier of concrete they put around themselves in order to do the jobs they do, and found some form of warmth there. I mean, because I saw through the uniform as being artificial symbols of power that they can't really feel.
Us, like, feeling extra emotional and them feeling totally, or presenting this totally impassive face and rigid, cold, unfeeling, you know, exterior. And that's,
great.
I think, why we wanted to get rid of the fence at the end, or at least that's how I felt it as, like it was.
And that was very impromptu. I mean, it was Mary Ann who just started, I think she was probably getting fidgety with what we were doing, I don't know, but she just started picking away at the fence, and then it just became, you know, we all started doing it. For a while there, the soldiers were, you know, as soon as you got it unwrapped where you could pull it down, they would wrap it right back, you know, and it was okay, you just go to the next one. I heard one of the guys say, "Oh, we have to wait for our orders." We have to wait for our orders, you know, when Mary Ann was doing it. We have to
They
wait for our
tried to
orders.
stop us by putting their hands over that wire, and,
And
then
then
they
they
started
just kinda
hurting
say-
themselves because they'd grabbed the wire so we couldn't do it, and then they just decided that it wasn't worth being cut up, and yet none of us were being hurt by it, which was interesting because we were taking time.
Women have been living at the Peace Camp since the summer of '83, all year round. Women from all over the world come and visit.
I'm Marlene Benali. I'm from Big Mountain Diné Nation. I've been in this struggle for several years. Back in 1980, my mom and two of my sisters and I, we got arrested for civil disobedience. We're struggling for our lands. One of the sisters from Seneca Falls, they sent us a letter saying that we want somebody from Big Mountain to come to Seneca Falls Women's Peace Camp. I think we're struggling for the same, for the Mother Earth, to save the planet. We established the survival camp at Big Mountain, Arizona. And we want all the four sacred races to unite, because it's very important to struggle together and share the ideas.
Circle for survival, circle for the right.
Sometimes it's not enough to say that I believe in something. Sometimes, in order to make it valid, I have to do and stand up or sit down for what I believe in.
Circle all the fences.
It brings up a lot of fear to be at the gate, to see the soldiers and to protest this way. And something that happens real easy is paralyzation. But to be here with women and doing this pushes through that fear and through that numbness to a real powerful place where it's our strength deep down inside of us that they can't stop. And that is our protest, and that is our creation. And that, to me, is what's magical about the civil disobedience that happens here.
Into the everlasting night. Circle all the strip mines, circle day and night. Circle with the people, lend them all our might. Circle all the rapists, the men in their machines. Circle all the ones who would take away our dreams. Circle for survival, circle for the right. Not to disappear into the everlasting night. Circle for survival, circle for the right. Not to disappear into the everlasting night. Circle all the pueblos, keep them safe from harm. Circle native people with hearts and minds and arms. They're fighting for their homelands, what little they have left. It's up to us to help them rectify the theft. Circle for survival, circle for the right, not to disappear into the everlasting night. Circle for survival, circle for the right, not to disappear into the everlasting night. Circle is our weapon, the circle is our tool. The circle is our heart space, the circle is our school. The circle is our kiva, the circle is our truth. The circle is our power against the ones who rule.